Hello and welcome to my channel Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about what the gossip is about you right now. What are people saying about you behind your back? And so I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular reading and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And yeah, I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Medicine Woman tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you, group number 1. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1? What is the gossip on group number 1, on the people who will choose group number 1? What's the gossip about them? I feel like people are usually very afraid of losing you. And it seems like there's a common denominator of people just sensing that they can't really trust that you will always be there for them. And so I feel like when they talk about you to others, it's kind of like they always talk with some kind of fear of losing you. Like that in everything they say, like when they gossip about you, it's not like gossip. It's just concerns that they have about losing you or losing the connection with you. Somehow people feel like they are not completely certain that they can stay in a relationship or in a friendship with you. Like it's like they don't know where they stand with you. Like they don't know if, like there is something about you that just worries people, and it's not, it might be that people are worried about you and your state of mind, or that you're a bit of a fluke or something, but it's mostly, I feel like it's mostly that people sense that they are not completely sure where they have you, or where they stand with you, that you can turn on them or something. That sometimes you are very fond of people, but then they say something that you don't fly with, or that it just is a deal breaker for you, and then you might turn your back on them because of that or something. So I feel like people are afraid that you're gonna turn on them, and that you're gonna be yesterday's news or something. That maybe when you find something better, you're gonna forget about them. I just feel a lot of people kind of complaining about feeling uncertain whether they are actually a friend of yours or not, or if you just see them as a coworker or as a classmate or something, and not as a friend. That maybe people don't know if you actually see them as a friend, or if you just secretly hate them but are just tolerating them because you have to see them every day, and so you just don't want to cause any more drama than you need to, or like you just want things to run smoothly, and so you just act as if you are their friends just to get things running, or that's how they feel, that they don't really feel a strong emotional connection with you. Like it's like you're a bit cold, or a bit like not cold, but you might be a very warm person, and maybe you also seem very warm to these people who talk about you this way, but it's like they feel like the warmth that you exude is not, it's not getting towards their direction. Like it's not aimed at them. It's like it's aimed at all the other people. Like they feel a bit, I just feel like there are certain people in your life that feels a bit left out, like you don't really like them, that you're more fond of other people, or like there are some people that really want to be your friend, and so they really want to talk to you when they see you at social events or at parties or something. They really want to have a good conversation with you, and so there might be some people in your life that you have noticed kind of come to you and ask you stuff, and you might not like it because you might not like these people. You don't really know why they are coming to you, like why they are choosing you, because maybe these are not your favorite people. But it's like they come to you and then they feel neglected or left out because you then leave them for someone else. Like if one of your actual friends come along while you're having a conversation with these people who are not your friends, then you of course choose the friend over them, and so they get a bit sad, or a bit like they feel like they are not as valued as this other person who is your actual friend. It's like they feel like you're not prioritizing them, and maybe for some of you this is actually true. Maybe you are not prioritizing these people because you might just see them as co-workers or classmates and not as actual friends. It's just people you work with or team up with at your school if there's a project or something. It's not something you choose, it's not people you choose to be with. And so, but these people really want to be a friend to you, or like they want to have you acknowledge them as actual friends for some reason. They don't really accept the fact that that you don't see them as close, as people you're close to. So I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what else is going on here. Okay, so with 5 of pipes here reversed, which is 5 of wands reversed, I think these people, there is some gossip about you being very undramatic. Like you keep out of the drama. You don't try to draw the drama to you or draw attention to yourself. You kind of want people to maybe leave you alone a bit, like you kind of do it in a quiet way, or in a way where you're not trying to stir up the pot. Like you don't want the conflict. Like when, like you just maybe maybe you're not very good at confrontations. So like if you meet, like if you're at a party with your classmates or co-workers, or someone in your, or people from your family, or something, some kind of like people who are like, who you're not friends with, but you feel obligated to go to parties with them. If some of these people see you, like I think see you go and talk to someone else, they instantly feel neglected. But it's like you do it in a way where they can't really get mad at you because you do it in a smooth way. Like you might be talking to your coworkers, classmates, or family members, whatever resonates, and then like when you see a friend, you don't instantly go over and talk to that friend instead of these people that you're obligated or you feel obligated to talk to. You might wait until they go to the bathroom or something, and then you kind of walk over to your friend. Like you do it in a way where it's not obvious that you're choosing someone else over them, but they still feel like they are being neglected by you, or that you're not paying attention to them. But you're doing it in a way where they can't stay mad at you. And with the 3 of bowls, which is 3 of cups, I think these people see you as, I think this could be your actual friends seeing you as someone who's very fun to be around, but this could also be these people who you're obligated to, feel obligated to be with, because I think this is something that most people feel, is that they feel like you're very fun to be around, and so people really want to spend time with you. And that is also why these people feel sad when you choose someone else over them, because they want to be with you because you're fun to be around. And so the fun is over when you go away, and so they don't want you to go away. They want you to stay because you're very amusing and you make a lot of very good jokes, and you're very light and bright and breezy, and you're easygoing, extroverted, like it's social, and maybe not extroverted, but you just have a lot of social skills. Like you're very good at making small talk, and like, or that's at least how people describe you, is that people describe you as someone who's very capable of having a good conversation, even with total strangers that you've never met before, but that you're a bit like, there are some people who feel like you're not giving them enough attention, and they are talking about that you are a bit like choosing the cool kids over them, or something like, or like just hanging out with people who you find more important, or they think that, or they think they feel like they are not smart enough, or like they are not cool enough, or they are not upper class enough for you, or something. I don't know what it is, but they just feel like they are like not good enough. But I'm gonna shuffle some more cards. Okay, so with the Wheel of Fortune, I think people are talking about you being very lucky, very fortunate, like you're very privileged, or at least it's kind of coming from the low vibrational energy here, like from these people who are talking about you as very great, but it has a very negative undertone because they feel like you're neglecting them, and so they feel like they are a bit jealous of whoever you're spending your time with, because they would rather switch places with them so that they can have a piece of you. And so these people who feel neglected by you or feel like you're not paying attention to them, they see you as very privileged, because they see you as someone who can just pick and choose who you want to spend your time with, and that you have so many people around you fighting over you that you can just choose whoever you find most interesting. And I think these people feel like they don't have that privilege in their life, like that they see that as a privilege, whereas they just feel like they have only a number of people who actually can tolerate them, and so they have very little to do so they see you as very lucky, like you're lucky, you have a lot of people around you, you're very, very popular, and yeah. I don't know if this is more like their sob story, like they I don't know if you're actually like that surrounded by people, but somehow this might be something these people say to themselves in order to make themselves feel better. Like if they talk about this behind your back, like if they talk about you being busy with all your other friends, then they feel like, oh, that's the reason why you're not contacting them or not texting them back. It's just because you're busy with all your other friends. Instead, you might just be ignoring them, and so that might be why. But I don't know. I don't really know. But I'm gonna shuffle a bit more. Okay, with the coyote, I think this. I think the talk about you, the way people talk about you is like, especially the negative people talking is saying that like you're well, there could be something about you having a partner. Like if you have a romantic partner, you might your romantic partner might be from a different country, and people might be talking about that. People might be gossiping about you finding a partner overseas or something, and I think I think people are talking positively about it, but I also feel like some of the low vibrational people are talking shit about it, like that oh, you needed to go overseas to find someone like romantically, because even though they see you as this popular person, they might have that like have some dirt on you when it comes to your love life, that you might not have had a lot of luck with finding love partners. So maybe you had to go overseas or something, or that might be the talk that or that or this could be that they see you as very picky. So they feel like, oh, you're so picky that none of the people in your country were good enough or up to your standards, your high standards, and so you had to go overseas to find someone who fits your standards or something. That could be something people talk about. So but yeah, there are some people around you that that are not very good people. Not at least not for you. Like maybe they are fine people. Like, but it's like you like they are envious of you in some way, or they see you as someone they need to fight for, and so they feel like you have so many other people and they don't want to fight for you, and they feel like they want to be with you, like they want to be your friend, but it's obviously not going very well for them, so they make all these excuses behind your back about like, oh, that's just because she's so picky, or she's so she or he, I don't know your gender, but that you're so picky or so so popular, or like that you're looking for something better than them, and they are not good enough for you because you have so high standards or something. And yeah, but it's all like the reason behind it is that they just genuinely like you a lot and would really want to be in the inner circle. They just know that that's a bit unrealistic because it's not been going very well for them so far, and so it's better to just bitch about it to each other, because I feel like it's a group of like a few people that bitch about this, maybe 3 people or 2 people in your life who kind of bitch to each other about how you're just spending time with everybody but them, or something. But besides these people, I think people are genuinely very positive about you, and it's like, yeah, that's all I have for you. Group number 1, I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye! Hello, group number 2, you chose this Das Märchen Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle these cards for you. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2? The people who will choose group number 2. What is the gossip on group number 2? What is the gossip about them? What are people saying about them behind their back? Okay, so I'm getting something about feelings, and that you might have, like, some people might be gossiping about you having feelings for someone. So maybe this is someone in your friend group or something, and maybe you've talked to some of your other friends about it. So they might be talking to each other about that. And I feel like someone in your life is kind of calling you a hopeless romantic, or talking about how you never do anything about your feelings. Like when you have feelings for someone, you never actually do something about it. You just talk about it, but you never actually make a move or take it to the next level. Like you just talk about it without doing any actions towards it. And I think one of your friends or family members or someone close to you is kind of tired of you not taking action, and that they just want to push you. Like they want you to stop fantasizing about a relationship with this person and just actually make it into reality and put yourself out there. I also feel like this person might want you to either try to make a move on this person or put yourself out there in the dating game in general, and maybe even forget about this one person that seems to be a bit hopeless, like someone who's maybe you have been talking about someone, like wanting to date someone who might not be available to you, or like available in general, like someone who's in a relationship, and maybe you're hoping that they will leave their partner for you or something like that. And maybe it is actually very realistic, because maybe you've talked to that person about it, and that person has maybe given you some kind of confirmation that they are gonna leave their partner because they are in an unhappy relationship or something. But maybe there is a friend of yours, very close friend, who just wants you to find someone else. Go on Tinder, find someone who's maybe better suited for you, someone who's in a less complicated situation, because I also feel like this person doesn't believe that they are actually gonna leave their partner for you, because they always say that, but they never do it. And so it's like, I feel like this person is talking from experience, like they know how this all works. And so I feel like there is someone close to you who is very like this person just wants the best for you. They want to see you happy. They don't want to burst your bubble or something like that. They don't want you to let go of your dream, but they just want you to be a bit more realistic, or maybe just not settle for something you don't deserve. And so, yeah. I also feel like people see you, like people around you, they see you as a bit of a gem. Like you're very pure. But they might also see you as a bit gullible. Like you might believe people when they tell you things. Like maybe you're not gullible like generally, but maybe you're gullible when it comes to love. Like you might believe someone who's maybe a bit of a player. Like you might believe that they are actually a changed man and actually wants to just settle down. And maybe maybe the people around you feel like you're very, very trusting, and you believe in people when they tell you things. That like you trust that they tell you the truth. And maybe they feel like you should be more that you should be better at guarding your emotions. Like they might feel like you're very good at like letting your emotions be naked, like, you know, how do you say that, like showing your naked emotions to people, like where they are not, like the emotions are not dressed, like it's just the pure emotions without any covering, and usually there are some coverings to our emotions, like we cover them up, but you just show them as they are, uncovered. And I think the people around you just they are afraid of seeing you get hurt. They don't want because they see you as a gem, like they see you as someone who's very special, someone who needs to be guarded, because you're so special. You're a wonderful person, and anyone who gets to date you is extremely lucky. Like I feel like that's the energy I'm getting from the people around you. They really want you to find love, but they don't want you to settle down for any less than you deserve, because settle with anything less than you deserve, I mean, because they feel like you deserve more than them, actually. Like they see you as someone who's really deserving of something special, something unique, something real, a real connection with someone who just wants the best for you. And because you're so pure and so kind of innocent in a very beautiful way, and yeah, and I feel like the people that you have been dated, I feel like your friends and family members don't think the people you've been dating in the past were up to your standard at all, like that, or up to the standard that they have put on you, like that they expect for you, on your behalf, like they want to find something better for you, because they feel like you maybe lack judgment when it comes to finding love partners, because they might feel like you fall in love with the wrong type of person, not the type of person you deserve. So maybe you've kind of gone, like maybe you've searched for, or maybe you found bad boys or or something like that in the past. People who were not good enough for you. Maybe people with addictions, maybe like lost causes, strays, that might be what people are describing these, like how they are describing these people that you've been dating in the past. I feel like it's being described, they are being described as strays, these lost causes, that you might have a bit of a savior complex, because you might go for the lowest of the lowest, or this is how the talk is. It's not my opinion. It's the people around you that are kind of saying this. Maybe your family members. I feel like it's more coming from family, that, like, especially maybe your parents, that like they really don't want to see you end up with someone very like someone who's not someone who doesn't have a job, who's just wasting their life, who's just a kind of a borderline criminal or something. They want you to find someone decent, someone with success, someone with a good paying job. So and it's like, it's mostly because they just see you as very deserving of the best of the best. Like you deserve the best. Like and so it's a very good energy. It's like it's a bit negative when it comes to your judgment. Like they are kind of criticizing your judgment here, but other than that, they really look at you with like in a very beautiful way. Like they see you as a wonderful person who deserves everything and more. So that's very, very nice. But I'm gonna shuffle the cards now. Okay, so with the Fool reversed, I guess people don't all see, like I don't think all the people around you see you as innocent. This could be more coming from your family, who sees you as like, and especially your parents, who see you as their precious, innocent son or daughter who could never do anything wrong, or like but I feel like maybe some other people around you are not that certain of that. Like maybe some people can see that you have a bit of a rebellious side to you, that you're not only this pure and innocent person. You have another side to you, and maybe this is coming from your friends or people who know you in a different way than your family does. With Nine of Swords, I think people see you as someone who is like a bit difficult to get to do stuff. Like they have to persuade you to get out of the house. I think some people feel like it's like you're very passive. You're not actively doing anything to get out of this loneliness or isolation. Maybe you feel like you're a bit isolated, and maybe you have complained to some of your friends or family members that you feel a bit lonely, and you would want to have someone that you could spend your life with and live with, and maybe you have talked about that, but I feel like maybe your friends or family members feel like you're not actively doing anything about it. You're not trying. You're not making an effort. And with Seven of Cups reversed, I think there is there is an element of maybe like you not being able to dream big, like that you don't have a lot of ambition, that when it comes to love. I think it's mostly when it comes to romantic relationships that you don't seem to have a lot of ambition, like when you're searching for love. I think people are talking about you just grabbing the next best thing. Like you're not, maybe not really filtering out all the bad seeds. Like you're just maybe choosing whoever loves you first, and then you learn to love them back or something. That you are more focused on them liking you and not asking yourself if you actually like them back. And I feel like some people around you are talking about how you need to start figuring out what you want, and then go search for that, and find something that you like, someone who you find attractive, and someone you're crazy about. And with the star, I feel like people see you as the star. They see you as like they talk about you as someone who is like maybe a bit like with the star in the Rider-Waite tarot, and in Tarot de Marseille and all of the original tarot decks. There is like the star is someone who has one foot on the ground and one foot in a pot of water, or in the pile of, or what's it called, like a puddle of water. But and so there could be like people might see you as someone who is a star. Like you deserve anything, like everything. I mean everything. You deserve everything. You are the star. Like you're the centerpiece. Like you're the like, especially for your family. Like you're the pride and glory of the family. Like you're someone your parents are really proud of, and your family is really proud of. But it seems like you have maybe a bit of a hard time seeing how great you are and seeing how much you actually deserve. And there's also this where maybe you're a bit getting in your own way because you have one foot in and one foot out. Like in when it comes to your love life, like you might choose the kind of relationships that don't work out, and maybe you do it on purpose, or maybe people are gossiping and talking about that behind your back, that you're choosing these lost causes because you know that it's not going to develop into something serious. It's not actually going to go anywhere. It's not going to lead anywhere. And so you choose them because it's easier. It's not as much of a commitment. It's not long term. You can just kind of help them out and be with them for a few months and then kind of leave without it being a big deal. And maybe they feel like you have some commitment issues, or that you're half-hearted in looking for love. That it seems like you want to find love because that's what you talk about. Like that's how you talk about it. You talk about wanting that, but in your actions, they show a different story. Like your actions show the story of someone who's really not ready for love, who's really not prioritizing love, and who kind of only want something short term because you're afraid of settling down with one person for the rest of your life, and maybe a bit afraid of making the wrong decision, maybe because you're a Pisces or a Libra, or someone who's a bit indecisive, and maybe it's a bit difficult for you, maybe because you also maybe you know that you lack judgment, or that you have poor judgment when it comes to choosing partners, and maybe you know that because you've been told that by people a few times now, that people have told you that you have poor judgment when it comes to men or women, whatever you are into, and so maybe you have just come to the conclusion that maybe you can't really rely on your own judgment, and that maybe you shouldn't find someone who is like serious and long term, just in case it's actually a poor decision, and then you're stuck with that person for the rest of your life, and then that is a whole disaster in itself. And I don't know, but there's six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. I think you might I think people see you as someone who's a bit too giving. You're too philanthropical, and that's maybe also when it comes to love, but this could also be when it comes to your career. Maybe some people feel like you're selling yourself short, that you're working for very little pay, that you put a lot of time and effort into your job, and you're not getting a lot out of it financially. That you're doing out of a kind heart. You're doing your work out of a kind heart. You're doing it because you're such a good person, and maybe you do it because it's fulfilling for you. It gives you a lot, like it helps you help others and makes you feel good about yourself. And so maybe you don't feel like you're selling yourself short. Maybe you feel like you're on the right path and you're actually doing exactly what you want to do with your life. But I feel like the people around you, they might have a different opinion about that, and that you should be getting a lot more money out of the work that you're doing. With Five of Pentacles, I think, well, there could be with this card here, it's Goldilocks, but Goldilocks is actually talking to the bear, and she's kind of getting confronted by the bear, I guess, that she's she's using the bear's bed. So I feel like there might be something about I feel like there might be some kind of thing here. It's very specific, so it will only resonate with a few of you. But there might have been some kind of situation where you might have taken someone else's spot, and you might have felt like you were that you were doing it with your full right to do it. and maybe people around you also told you that there was nothing wrong with that, because you could, it wasn't like, it wasn't wrong to do that. But then maybe you were confronted with someone, or someone confronted you and told you that you shouldn't have taken their spot, because they only left the spot open because they had to do something else, and so they wanted their spot back, and people might have talked about that incident for whatever reason. That you might have gotten blame for it, like that you were. I feel like people feel like you were actually the one mistreated in this, because you only took a spot that you thought was free. You thought it wasn't preoccupied by someone else. You thought it was available to you, but you just found out afterwards that it wasn't, and so it wasn't your fault. You did it out of, like, you didn't know that, and you didn't know enough to actually have made a conscious decision about, like, trying to rob someone from something, because you didn't know you were robbing that person of something. And so I feel like people feel like that was really unfair because of who you are, because you're a very innocent person who's very pure-hearted, and you would never do something like that on purpose. But it was made out as if it was on purpose when it really wasn't. And I feel like a lot of people were very annoyed with how you were treated in that situation, because they could tell that it was really unfair that you got the blame for it or something. But that's just specific for some of you. And yeah. But that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this Miss Cleo's tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you, group number 3. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3? The people who will choose group number 3. What is the gossip on them? What is the gossip about them? Group number 3. I am sensing that for some of you, this is very annoying, but I kind of have to say it because it's like coming through, but some people see you as, some people might be talking about you being very tired or looking very tired. All the time, people might be contemplating whether you have insomnia or something, because you always look so tired or something. You might also have, like, recently stopped wearing makeup, and that could just be the reason why people think you're tired. Might be just because, like, maybe you used to wear eye makeup all the time, but you might have chosen not to do that, or maybe you have an infection in your eye or something that has made you not been able to have eye makeup on. And so So there might be something like that where people assume that it's because you, like, they can't really tell that it's because you have stopped wearing makeup. They just think you look tired, or more tired than you used to, or they can't really put a finger on what it is, but you just look different, and so they think that might be the reason. But so yeah, I feel like people talk about that you seem tired. But I feel like it's mostly the way you look, and which I feel like is a bit annoying, because it's like that you look tired. Like, it's kind of getting through that, oh, you look so tired. Oh, there must be something wrong because you look so tired. Like, or he, I don't know your gender, but but I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what the cards have to say about what the gossip is about you. Group number 3. Okay, so with Seven of Wands, it's like, well, I feel like people actually see you as someone who's very successful, very on top of things. Like, you're very like, you're in high demand. Like, people really want to have a piece of you. Like, people want to spend time with you. But people might feel like you're so popular, or that people are fighting over you, or that you have so much on your schedule that they don't want to burden you any more than you already are. So they feel like you're always so busy all the time. So they don't feel like they can actually contact you or talk to you. And maybe there's also some talk about you not texting people back. There might have been some incident, or one person might have been spreading some rumors about you ignoring them, and maybe also that you blocked them. Or there might be some talk about you blocking someone from on your social media. And I don't know if that's actually true, because I think that I think this might, for some of you, might just be a rumor that has been spread around, but it's actually not true. You just haven't been texting that person back, because maybe you have been thinking about what you were gonna reply to that person. Like, you might have been thinking about the answer, and so maybe you just haven't gotten the answer yet to the question that you were asked, and so you haven't texted that person back. But it's not because you've blocked that person, but maybe you have. But I feel like it's not all of you. Like, not all of you have actually blocked someone. I feel like it's some of you have, but others of you are just being what's it called? That's just like allegations, or like, it's people are just spreading false rumors. So 6 of coins. So I feel like people see you as someone who is very helpful, very selfless person to some people. Some people see you as very, very selfless and giving, while others might feel like you're not prioritizing them as your prioritizing others. Like some people might feel a bit left out because they see you do all these selfless acts towards other people, but they feel like you wouldn't do the same to them, which is only natural. Like we don't treat everyone the same, and so yeah, some people might get special treatment from you, and some people don't. And in order to give special treatment to some people, you kind of have to give less attention to some people in your life, the people that you might not want to prioritize because maybe they are not as close to you. Not that there's anything wrong with these people, and not that you don't like these people. I think you like these people, but they just are not a priority to you because they are not as close to you as some other people are. And so yeah. So with Two of Cups, I think some people might be gossiping about you being in a relationship. There might be some rumors going on about you having some kind of romance with someone, maybe at your workplace or at your school, that there's some kind of secret romance going on, that you're not talking about, or that's kind of being a hush-hush or something. Or maybe this is just a rumor, maybe this is not true at all, but there is some people talking about that could be. I feel like there's something about a teacher or a mentor or someone who's or a supervisor or a boss of yours, or someone who you have some kind of special bond with. And so some people around you have been wondering whether there's something more going on between you two, that maybe you have been intimate with each other or something. But I'm gonna shuffle some more. So, okay. So with Six of Cups reversed, I feel like this is interesting imagery. When it's upright, it's someone who's like walking away from someone, but is kind of leaving these breadcrumbs on, so that maybe he can find back to that person, or I don't know. But it's reversed, so I feel like there might be some kind of connection between where or some kind of relationship that you were in the past, where you might have been quite happy with that relationship, or they might, the other person might have been like, maybe this just felt like a very good relationship, and people around you thought this was the real deal, like that this was a soulmate connection that you had with this other person, and maybe they feel like it's a shame that you two drifted apart, that you are not in a relationship anymore, that maybe you should try to find back to that person and find your way back to their heart again, or something, or find it in your heart to allow them to get back into your heart or something. I don't know, but and with the King of Swords, if this is someone who's an air sign, like an Aquarius, Libra, or what? Aquarius, Libra. What the Aquarius, Libra. Aquarius, Libra. What? What the okay, that's interesting. That's never happened before. I don't remember the third sign. What's the third sign? Aquarius, Libra. Aquarius. What? That's a bit concerning, actually. I'm gonna move on because it's not coming back. It's not coming back to me. It's gone. I can find it. What is? Where's Libra? Okay, I'm just gonna. That's the weirdest part. Okay. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I should know. It's my moon sign. Okay, yeah. That happened. So, but okay, it could be an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and so this person. There could be something. Yeah, that could be. Well, it could be that it's the Gemini that you have forgotten all about, because I forgot about the Gemini. So maybe there is a Gemini in your life, or used to be a Gemini in your life who you have forgotten about, and you didn't leave any breadcrumbs, so you can't really find your way back to that person because there's whatever reason why you left that behind and never looked back. But I feel like some people around you, they want that to get they want you to get back to that person, or they want you to give that person a chance again. I don't think you want to, though, but I feel like some people haven't forgotten about the good parts about this person, that this person also got, like, even though this person did some bad things, they also did some good things or something, and so they really want you to get there could be some kind of there could also be some kind of love triangle going on, where they feel like you're maybe choosing the wrong person, like that you friend zoned someone that you shouldn't have friend zoned, and that you're more romantic with someone else who's not very good for you or something. And so I feel like there is a close friend, like maybe you have a close friend that you friend zoned, and people around you are just rooting for that friend and hoping that that friend gets out of the friend zone and actually starts dating you again, or for the first time, if this is not an ex, but someone who just has been in your life for a long time, without it ever becoming anything serious. But yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some more, even though I'm kind of feeling like I'm off my game here, but it happens to all of us, I think. But yeah, so what are people saying about you behind your back? What's the gossip? Okay, so Okay. With Nine of Swords reversed, I think people talk about you as someone who's actually kind of a go-getter. Maybe this is more career-wise. I feel like they see you as someone who, like, I think some people around you are talking about how you are not just sitting around home and at home and not doing anything. Like, you're actually working, and that you're a hard worker, and that you're putting yourself out there, and you're making connections with people, and you're finding people to make deals with or something when it comes to your career, that you're networking with very important people or something, and that it's like you're very determined and motivated, and you're not letting anything get you down. Like you're not letting anyone discourage you. Like you're very confident in your pursuits. And with the High Priestess reversed, I feel like people see you as someone who's not secretive, someone who's very direct and very honest. You tell it like it is. And this is also one of the things that people really like about you. Like, people like that you're very honest and very direct, and people feel like it's very straightforward to talk to you. Like, you're very easy to talk to. Like, there's no barrier. Like, it runs very smoothly. Like, when you communicate with people, it just happens very naturally. You always know how to speak to people, even very different people than yourself. Like, you always find some kind of common ground with people. You always know what to talk about. And people talk about that behind your back in a positive way. Like, they talk about how amazing it is that you have this ability to just communicate smoothly with anyone that you meet. And that you can always find some topic that you have in common, or at least talk about something like politics or something on the news, or like that you always find something to talk about, and there's never awkward silence when people talk to you. So yeah. But people do feel like lately there's some kind of spark that might have been kind of like you've lost some kind of spark that you used to have. Maybe it's because you have been very tired. So maybe you have some insomnia, and maybe the insomnia is actually the reason why you're a bit tired lately. Which is very natural. If you have insomnia, of course you're going to be tired. Yeah. But I think people like you. You have a lot of likability, and I feel like people let you get away with a lot of things. Like, you can, even though some people are maybe a bit like annoyed with the fact that you haven't texted them back or something, or maybe that is a rumor, I don't know. But I feel like still people would, like, even if you haven't texted them back for a long time, if you actually texted them back, they would get you off the hook. Like, they wouldn't hold a grudge against you, because people just like you, and so if you send a peace offering to them, they would just accept it because they really want to be your friend. So it's like people forgive you very easily. I'm not saying that you've ever done anything terrible, but like, but you can also get away with not talking to your friends for a long time. But I feel like it's mostly because like when you actually spend time with your friends after maybe having like a 6 months period of not talking to each other, it still feels like it feels like no time has passed. Like you just have that connection with your friends where it doesn't matter how long you're apart. It always feels like you just been talking all of this time, like no time has passed. Like, yeah. So people really like you, and they don't have a lot of negative things to say actually. So, but yeah, that's all I have for you. Group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Rota Mundi tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 4. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So, okay, group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4? What is the gossip on group number 4? What are people saying about them behind their back? Okay, so I feel like people might talk about you being kind of sarcastic, and that you have a bit of a mean sense of humor sometimes, or that you kind of give people a bit of a hard time, but you do it in a very light and funny way where people don't feel like it's such a big deal. But I feel like some people might have felt a bit targeted by you because of some joke that you made, that they felt like was a bit personal. I don't know what it was, but I feel like the people around was very amused by it. So I feel like it was a funny joke, but the person that, like, there was someone that didn't find it amusing, and that it might have been the butt of the joke, the person that was the butt of the joke, or it might just have been someone who wasn't the butt of the joke but felt a bit targeted anyways, because they felt like there was some kind of undertone that seemed to be directed at them, that it was kind of like hinted, like that it wasn't directly about them, but they felt like indirectly the joke was about them, and that all the other people were in on it, and that it was kind of said in a cryptic way where they felt like people were laughing at them at their expense. I don't know what, but I feel like this person was a bit hurt by it, and maybe not to side with this person, but I feel like maybe for some of you, and you know who you are. Like for those of you where this joke might have crossed the line a bit, and maybe this person actually has some reason to feel hurt, because maybe the joke actually was about them, and so maybe this person kind of deserves an apology from you. I know this might not sit well with some of you that I say this, but I just feel like if you know that you might have made a joke that wasn't very very kind to someone, then maybe it wouldn't hurt. Like you wouldn't lose anything from maybe just writing a personal text to that person on Facebook or some other kind of social media, and just apologize, maybe through text, or like that's maybe the most non-invasive kind of way to do this. I feel like, and I think this person would really appreciate getting an apology for it. And you don't have to do it like publicly or say it to the other people. You can just do it personally to that person, because I feel like that person would be happy with that gesture, even if it's just you two apology, like you two intimately talking to each other, not intimately but personally, in just a private conversation between you two. I think this person would actually prefer that over you saying it in front of the other friends who were there at the time. So I think that might be the best way to do it for those of you that resonate with that. So, but for others of you, I feel like people just the people who talk about you actually talk very positively about you. There's just this one person who feels very hurt, but the others not. I feel like the other people around you are just see you as very funny. They don't take. I feel like some people have maybe heard you make jokes about them, where they didn't get hurt because they knew that like that's just the way you. That's just your humor. Like you, that it's not anything personal, and so I feel like they didn't take it personally. But of course, if someone actually takes one of your jokes personally, then it would be a good idea to just apologize to that person, because it doesn't take anything away from you, if you get my saying. Like, not everyone can take a joke, and there's nothing wrong with not being able to take a joke. So doesn't make that person less deserving of like, and like it doesn't make them sensitive or make them overly like. There's not it's just that people are different. Some people can take a joke, some people can't, and it's the jokester's responsibility to make the jokes that actually land, and also apologize for the jokes that don't land as well. Just so, and yeah, I don't know. I know that it might, like, some of you might be a bit mad at me for saying this, but I'm just picking up on one energy that I feel like is a common denominator with many of you who are watching right now, is that someone feels very hurt and I can really sense the devastation, the feeling of this person feeling like they thought you were a friend to them, and so they feel a bit betrayed as well, because they feel like this made them also lose you as a friend, which is also a loss to them. I don't know what this is really about. I'm gonna shuffle and see if the cards can get me more. With Temperance, I feel like people. Well, this is actually kind of is fitting. It's like the meaning. It says here, meaning, support, but also snake. And so I feel like people are a bit divided when it comes to their opinion of you, or the way they talk about you behind your back. Some people talk about the support you give them and how supportive you are and how amazing you are. And then there are people who see you as a bit of a snake, or talks about you as a bit of a snake. I don't know if, like, why they, well, I don't know if, like, I feel like there is some kind of duality also to you, where maybe sometimes you're very nice to people, and sometimes you're a bit more closed off, and sometimes people feel like they can't really tell which version of you they are gonna get, or they don't really know if you're gonna give them banter, or if you're gonna shower them with love and compliments and stuff like that, and they don't know when you're gonna be this supportive person who's always like rooting them on, and then sometimes you go and maybe say something where you mean it as a joke, and you think they are also gonna take it as a joke, and you think it's gonna land. You think the joke is gonna land, but then the joke ends up hurting them instead of landing. I feel like for some of you, there could be an explanation for this, and I know not all of you are going to be happy with me saying this, but I feel like some of you could be bipolar, so maybe sometimes you turn on people when you're either down or low, or up, like. When you're maybe sometimes when you're down, you might be a bit harder on people, and maybe make jokes about them that are a bit more mean-spirited, or a bit more bickering, or a bit more criticizing like the people around you, where when you're high, or when you're when you're more manic, or not manic, but when you're in your You might be a bit more positive and supportive and root people on and tell people that you think all their ideas are great, and then like when you're a bit down you might tell people that all their ideas kind of suck, and maybe that is kind of the real truth, but I don't know, but maybe you get a bit more honest sometimes when you're low, and a bit better at faking it when you're a bit higher up, like when, yeah. I don't know. But I think people, like, this is again the gossip, like it doesn't really have to have anything to do with you. Like it might not be a reflection of you as a person. It might just be the rumors that are going on about you, and so it might just be what people think of you or like assume about you, that you are like this, and maybe you're not like this at all. Maybe people assume that you are bipolar just because sometimes you have mood swings, and so they go to that conclusion from very little knowledge about you. Actually, like they don't really know anything about you, but they can diagnose you with something very serious just out of the blue and without anything to back it up. So it might not have anything to do with you. Okay, so a bit more information on what people are saying about group number 4 behind their back. Okay, so 3 of Swords, which says rectification. I think with the 3 of Swords, I think people see you as someone who has been hurt, and that is all that is maybe one of the reasons why you sometimes hurt other people. I don't think you do, but I don't know if you hurt people, but it's like people feel a bit hurt. People feel like you've said something to them that was a bit hurtful, made a joke that wasn't very thoughtful, or wasn't very respectful to them as a person, or something that you made a bit fun of someone, and or made fun of something that they really like. Like maybe someone told you that they really like playing Dungeons and Dragons, and maybe you said, "Oh, that's really, really nerdy," or something. Or maybe someone said that they really like what's it called, RPG role-playing games, or and like real life role-playing where they are out in a forest with cardboard swords and stuff like that. And you might have said like that's a bit weird, or something, and you might have thought you were just like dissing the thing, like you felt like maybe that wasn't really hurtful to say, because you're just voicing your opinion on the thing that they like, and not them as a person. You're not dissing them for liking something, you're just dissing the thing that they like. And maybe you felt like that was off limits, like, or not off limits. Not off limits. That you could actually joke about that, because it doesn't really. It's not their identity. It's not their person. They just do that, and it's not doesn't belong to them. It's not their thing. It's not something they came up with or made or created. It's something that they do for fun sometimes as a hobby, and so it's not. You might just have felt like it didn't really reflect back on them, and so it was okay to make jokes about it because it doesn't have anything to do with them. And they took it personally and felt like you were making fun of them for liking that thing, or making fun of the thing that they really like, and which also made them feel bad because it's something they really liked, and so they felt like you were making fun of them indirectly by making fun of that thing that they like, and that you know they like or something. And it's, of course, even though you might still feel like you were that it wasn't really that terrible to make a joke about about Dungeons and Dragons or role playing in the forest. Even though you felt like that was maybe something that everybody jokes about, so it's not that terrible to make a joke about it. But even though that might be so, and I would have made jokes about it too, if I was in your position and in your place, I would probably have made the same remark or a very similar one. So I'm not better. I'm not a saint. I would have made fun of it too. So, but be that as it may, like you should maybe like if this resonates, if you made fun of something and you kind of have a feeling that that person has been holding a grudge against you because of that thing you made fun of, that you made fun of that, then maybe apologize to that person. Maybe that would sort things out, and maybe they would really be happy if you kind of did that, apologized. So. But I feel like people can tell that you have been, like, you have had a rough life, and you're very hard and very strong. Like, you're very like you can take a joke, and it's because you have. Maybe people assume it's because you've had a hard life. Like, you don't get sensitive about things that you don't feel like matter. Like small things like a joke or something like that. You feel like there are a lot bigger issues in your life than to worry about something so silly as a joke. And maybe you have said that to people as well, and maybe they actually understand that. They understand that, okay, it's coming from a place where, like, they know that it's that you make jokes that sometimes hurt people, but it's because you wouldn't have, like, you only make the jokes that you wouldn't have been hurt. Like, you don't get hurt by jokes, so you don't assume that other people get hurt by them, because you expect people to have the thick skin that you have, but some people just don't. And I don't know. Oh. Okay. Okay, so with 9 of Cups, I think people see you as very independent. Like you're very, very successful on your own. You don't need help from anyone. You don't need anyone. You've always figured out how to survive on your own. You've always figured out how to solve problems on your own. You don't need anyone to solve your problems. And I think people talk about how it's kind of unfair that people feel like you're helping other people, but you're not asking other people for help. And so people feel like when they get some help from you, they never know how to return the favor, because they never know how to help you, because you never ask for help, and you never want any help when you're asked if you want any help from them. So people feel like they want to return the favor, but they can't, because you don't let them. And so I feel like this has more to do with maybe your studies. Like maybe sometimes you've helped some of your classmates if you are in school, or maybe this was in the past. But your classmates might have come to you and like asked you if you wanted to help them with an essay or some kind of assignment or something, and you might have always said yes because you wanted to, like maybe you felt like you could just as well help them if they asked you. But then when they asked if they could help you with your essay, you might have said like no, like God no. And maybe that the way you said it might have kind of made someone feel a bit like you felt a bit superior to them, that you could help them, but you couldn't imagine how they could ever be able to help you with your stuff. Like that it wasn't a two-way street, like it was only a one-way street, because the other one was kind of like blocked. So and so some people might see you as a bit arrogant, or talk about you as kind of that you're someone who doesn't want help from others, but it's mostly because you want things to be done a particular way, and you only trust yourself to do the job. Like you don't trust anyone else to do it as good as you can do it or something. So with the 10 of Swords, oh, this is not 10 of Swords, sorry. Oh, well, it is 10 of Swords. So it is, but it says transition, completion, and I think people see you as someone who has been through a lot, as I said before, someone who's had a hard life, but they also see that like you're not defeated by it. Like you live on, and maybe some people are talking about you not really dealing with your trauma, that you're kind of just moving on and just maybe being a workaholic or using some other things to kind of preoccupy your mind so that you don't have to think about your trauma or think about your past. So there might be something about like people feeling like you're numbing yourself down with either some kind of substance or that you're using like your work to kind of bury yourself in work, so that you're not so that you don't have the PTSD thing, or I don't know. with the King of Swords, I think people see you as very a bit emotionless, but someone who's very successful, very good at whatever you do. But I feel like people sense that you're good at your work or your studies because you're good at burying your emotions away and like keeping that away from everything you do, and kind of just focusing on the task and being a bit logical about it. Whereas I feel like for some of you, I think people actually see that your trauma is maybe your biggest superpower, and that you're kind of robbing yourself from certain things because you're not using your trauma to your advantage, something like that. It's a bit complicated, but it's like the thing about like people get the sympathy vote and pity points in various fields. Like if you signed up for a cooking competition in the television or something like that, then you would win if you used your sob story, because that's like people like to have the what's it called, the emotional porn, like feeling like yeah. So if you're in some kind of competitive field where maybe a sob story would actually get you far, then maybe some people in your life feel like you're not actually using it as using it as an advantage. You're not using your sob story. Like maybe you're also thinking about writing, but maybe you're thinking about writing fantasy or sci-fi or something, whereas your friends or family feels like maybe you should write a book about your life instead, because maybe that is the sob story that would actually become a bestseller, because you've had some experiences that might actually catch people's interest or something. With the Emperor, I feel like there might be something about your father, or maybe people are talking about your father. Maybe there's some gossip about that something happened to your father, or that you have certain issues because of your father, or due to some things that your father did, or something like that. And yeah, maybe people are talking about that. Maybe people are also talking about you having daddy issues, but that's another story, I think. So with the Seven of Cups, I think this is reversed. So I think people see you as someone who's a bit unambitious when it comes to your maybe your life, like what you want from life. Like maybe you are afraid of wanting things or dreaming about things because you're afraid of getting disappointed again and again and again. And so maybe you've put your expectations very low, and like you might even expect the worst to happen, because that would just be your luck, like that's just how it always might have been. And so maybe some people have picked up on the fact that it seems like you're afraid of dreaming, you're afraid of expecting something good to come out of things. It's like you always expect the worst, and people want you to maybe think more positively and more optimistically about the future, and also that you should believe that good things actually can happen to you. So yeah, but that's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye.